What's up, everybody? This is Devin White, linebacker for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You're listening to the LCC Network. Go Bucks.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Commissioner's Clubhouse and the LCC Network for the fourth off-season episode. That's right, we're in a whole month into the off-season, which means we are only 8 months away now from the regular season. That's exciting in a way, and kind of sad at the same time when I think about it. But I've got none other. Oh yeah, I'm gonna lead into this one. We got Jameson with us today.
So Pat has control of the soundboard tonight, so you'll get a lot of that, throughout the episode.
Oh man! Well, while I'm at it, I'm just gonna go ahead and introduce him. The one, the only, Cody.
Howdy ho!
Oh man!
All right, Pat. All right. Well,
am I leading us tonight? Is that what's happening right now?
I don't
would
know.
assume so.
I mean, you got the soundboard. Do you want to lead?
All right.
You can do anything.
I'll do it.
All right.
Oh God, you're just exciting me over here. All right. Oh, the power's going to my head. All right. So yeah, no, let's kick it off with some of our announcements, if you will. Not much going on. Obviously, the voting has closed for draft location, all that sort of stuff. And we're going to talk about that here in a few moments. And then, just so you guys are aware, the voting for the draft order is going to be open up on January 7th and will close February 2nd.
January.
So in about,
27th.
sorry, yeah, my bad. Yeah, January 27th. That would make a lot more sense. And then close February 2nd. So keep that in mind. And next week, we're going to go over, and this is pretty exciting, we're going to go over all of the current active owners' Hall of Fame point totals. Obviously, some of the rookie owners are going to have any. That's cool. They can kind of figure out where they are or how far they are from some of the guys ahead of them. But that's pretty much it. Well, I got a quick question for you guys. And I've been thinking about this all week. What would it take / what would there need to be in order for you to be interested in watching the Pro Bowl?
Shoot, I already know your answer. Pat's all over he talking about bring back the All-Star. I mean, they're kind of doing the game still, but just different games.
They are.
They did
Yeah, it's
dodgeball.
like dodgeball.
Yeah. Now I like the throwing one too. I think if they brought back some of the older ones, it would be a little fun. But the Pro Bowl, I don't think the game itself is ever going to be really good anymore.
No, I don't think the players are fairly compensated for going to, of all places, Orlando, Florida for the NFL. I mean, that has got to be the cheapest location they could have picked for the Hall of Fame. I mean, not the Hall of Fame game, the Pro Bowl. I mean, they used to do it in Hawaii, for God's sakes, and now it's in Disney World. I mean, most people can just drive there on the East Coast. It's not that big of a deal, but for some reason, that's where they're doing the Pro Bowl now.
Yeah, I thought Hawaii was a little better.
Yeah, Hawaii was a lot better. I was actually watching this week. It just kind of randomly came up on Facebook. The 2001 Pro Bowl where they had the quarterback challenge and they were running over the obstacles and then hitting the moving targets that were on golf carts, that were going across the field. And it was
yes, the QB challenge.
It was Trent Dilfer and Donovan McNabb and Peyton Manning and somebody else.
I've watched.
It was just hysterical. I forgot so many of those guys were Pro Bowl, Trent Dilfer. I don't know. It was fun to watch though. To see that because you don't really get that true kind of thing anymore.
Well, it was kind of cool though because they actually kept records of who had the longest throw out of all 10, 15 years they had done it. So I think that'd be awesome if they brought that back. I mean, honestly, like Cody said, the game's never going to be great. The players aren't going to risk their careers anymore and risk getting hurt going full throttle in a Pro Bowl games. And they're not even making that much money compared to what they're making in regular NFL games. But I think you could definitely compensate that with doing a bunch of mini games like that, Or even, I thought this would be cool. What if you had like a 7-on-7 flag tournament and you brought in some guys that retired? Like bring back Randy Moss and see how he does. Bring back Michael Vick. Bring back, I don't know. I'm just throwing some names out there. It'd just be interesting to see kind of how the older guys do against some of the younger guys, or mix the teams up.
It's kind of like that Hall of Fame game right before the year.
Yeah.
But like, I also think the worst thing they could have done is exclude the two like teams in the Super Bowl. I hate the fact that they put it like in the middle.
Yeah.
I wish it was still after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I agree. Yep. Let's kick on to the thing I think most people are wanting us to talk about this evening, and that's the 2020 NFL Draft.
Oh, very nice, Pat. You're a pro. Oh, never
So I
mind.
did it twice. Yeah. I had to mess it up somehow.
Spoke too soon.
Oh man. I thought I was going to announce a pick for some reason, but it didn't. So that was my fault.
It's so good you did it twice.
Yeah.
It's like mahi mahi.
But yeah, I mean, this is our 11th draft. I mean, we've gone from drafting in Jordan's and Cody's grandparents' house and Ryan's bedroom in a corner of the bedroom we had for like 8 people, all shoulder to shoulder, staring at like a, just a regular white sheet of paper where we were writing like the draft picks down. It was the worst possible way you could draft. We had a blast, and now I feel like we've got some bigger and better things going on.
I totally agree, and I think that's funny, but I also would like to say this. We should use that name lightly and do it like Voldemort for the name we do not speak of.
Oh, Ryan. Oh, God. If you're listening somehow, I don't know. Hope you're doing good, but I don't know.
I'm sure he is not.
Yeah. So, we'll start off with probably one of the bigger things, the draft location. It's the voting went in favor of, and I was kind of surprised by this, the Greenville-Spartanburg area, the upstate of South Carolina. It's where that went. It's definitely the safest location, the cheapest location, probably the most convenient location for most people in the league. But obviously now we've got to determine, guys, where in Greenville-Spartanburg are we going to do it? Are we going to we're going to go to Pizza Inn like the old days where we used to have like our league meetings? Are we going to like spend money, rent a place out for the day? Are we going to go to like Wild Wings? Are we going to, I don't know. I can't even think right now, but I'm sure you guys, Cody, Jameson, you may have some ideas of what you'd like to see.
Yeah, I got a couple like myself. First, like we could do it at SMA, and they got like a projector and things of that nature.
I think it's a great location.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of like central to everybody. Also, like another thing is like where I work, like they have like a whole upstairs with like a pool table, and it costs like $500 to like rent the whole thing out for the whole day. Like I don't know if that's something that I don't know if that's too expensive or we would have enough people to do that.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that in a minute on how much everyone seems to be willing to spend on that. But sorry.
I love both of those ideas.
Yeah.
I don't have any ideas myself. We've done it at my house for the Elite 12 for the last 2 or 3 years, but obviously we can't fit 20 people here. So, and my wife would shoot me. So, so we're definitely had to do it somewhere else. But yeah, I like both of those ideas for sure. But we need your ideas, guys. We need your ideas. Let us know.
That's right. Another important thing is we're going to have a time limit on the draft picks, and the time that seems like the majority of people went with was 1 minute per pick, and the draft is going to be within one day, not multiple days, which means I forgot the math, what that came out to be. There's 13 rounds, there's 13 rounds. There's 24 teams, so 24 times 13 will give you how many minutes would be in the draft if everyone took a full minute to make their pick, and it probably will come out to be about that. And Hey, I'm doing it right now. Times
Probably like 5
13
hours.
rounds. Came out to 312. So yeah, 5 hours. Yeah, without a break, it would be 5 hours at 1 minute.
Yeah, but
So
I think
let's keep that in mind.
I think that's fun though. Like I don't even think of it as 5 hours. Maybe like the last like 30 minutes, I'll be like, all right, like, because
the last
the,
3 rounds
the
are gonna be
players
rough.
aren't as interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just keep that in mind though. Like when you're suggesting a place, it's got to be a place that we can rent out literally for like a full day practically. Because I mean, 5 hours nonstop, that's harder than you think. People are going to need to use restroom. You know, if we got guys drafting remotely, that's always delayed by, I would say, a good 20 seconds, it seems like. At least it was for me when I drafted remotely last year. Like it was a full 20-second delay, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, at least. We always plan for a minute, but people will go over to, quite a bit, I think. So
Yeah.
we'll just have to be more strict with it.
The unprepared.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
unprepared are going to be go really bad this year.
Yeah. Well, and we were just talking about this. The budget, though, everyone seems to agree $10 limit is what everyone's kind of shooting for. Everyone who's planning on being at the draft needs to pay $10 in advance, so that we can, make sure everything we need, food wise or whatever we need, is there before people get there, and it's not like we're starting 30 minutes late because we're trying to get a bunch of money together and then, okay, let's get this. You know what I mean? So I think that's we just need to figure out when that $10 is going to be due. I think it's just easier. You tell people. I want to say payments due for the league. I think March 1st, around the beginning of March. A little over a month from now, basically. I think it'd just be easier. Like, hey, if you're coming to the draft, you need to pay $50 by that date, and just make it simple. And then Jameson, you hold on to that X amount of dollars, whatever it ends up being that everyone's put in, and then send that money to whoever's buying the stuff for the draft party.
Yeah, I'd say you just like incorporate it in the dues.
Yeah.
Everybody pay all at once. Yeah.
And then the draft date, preseason weekend or preseason week 4 is what we're doing, which will end up being Labor Day weekend more than likely, of what the math Jameson and I did the other night. Which is actually, I didn't realize this till earlier in the week, but this year's season starts a little later than normal. I mean, really, it's like mid-September, week 1 is when it happens, essentially, because of when the Hall of Fame game is.
Yeah, Labor Day is like later. It's like September 7th this year or something like that. So, yeah, I think it does.
So that'll be the weekend we do the draft.
Just an interesting thought. Like, what did y'all vote for on that?
I voted week. I did week 4.
I did week 4.
That's what I voted for.
Yeah,
I did week 3. I just feel like no starters start week 4, like in preseason. That's why I said week 3. But like, I don't mind week 4. It doesn't bother me.
2 years ago, we were drafting on week 4 of the preseason, and literally Isaac had Jerick McKinnon from the waiver wire, and as we're drafting, we get a notice, and it's like, oh, Jerick McKinnon tore his ACL or his MCL, whatever it was. It's like during the draft, and so like Isaac had to go to a backup. So, but I think you're right. There aren't a lot that happened, but I mean, I'm extra cautious. I like to have the most time, but I mean, I don't think it matters too much if it's week 3 or 4.
I guess I've just never been burned. I've just never been burned, so maybe that's why I don't think about it.
I voted week 4 because I'm a little greedy. I'm thinking if I go to the draft, it's got to be worth my while. It needs to be a long weekend. You know what I mean? So I get Labor Day off, so it makes it a little bit easier. That's why I voted for this.
I think one thing that helps with week 4 is like maybe some position battles will have been like resolved, because 2 years ago I think we drafted week 3. And I honestly got lucky, but I remember it was Sky Moore and Leonard, and I was hearing both were going to be like, they had an opportunity to start.
I remember that.
Yeah. And I ended up picking Leonard, but excuse my language.
Worked for me.
I ended up picking Leonard, But I got lucky, honestly, because I was very close to picking Satmore. Just because I knew him too, and I thought he was really good with Carolina as well.
I was excited for Sky Moore. I thought he was actually going to be a NFL starter for a minute. But Darius, he took that away.
Hey, I mean, how crazy is that? They're both from the South Carolina part of it, South Carolina State and then South Carolina, battling for a spot, and it just so happens one's going to be an All-Pro.
Speaking of Darius Leonard, I interviewed a guy today at work who played safety behind Darius Leonard at SC State. So it's pretty
nice.
Cool. I was asking him, I was like, so what was it like to play with Darius Leonard? He's like, oh man, the guy, he's like, even in college, he's a freaking monster. And when he came off the field, if he ever made a mistake, it just ate away at him. When he was on the sidelines and stuff, they're like, he just never ever stopped. And so it's pretty cool to hear that guy's perspective about him.
Seeing there's those people though that when it eats you, there's some people that it thrives and they do better, but there's other people it eats at them and they just do even worse. So he's just one of those rare breeds, man. He's driven.
He's an animal.
Oh, he's so good. Yeah. He's so good.
Yeah. But the last thing is now we just got to decide how the draft order, how are we going to determine that? So there's already been the suggestion period's over, so the voting's about to begin, and we'll figure that out, and then we'll go from there. I'm personally I don't know. I could care less, honestly, how we determine it. But I will say, I feel like we definitely should make it to where whatever the draft order is, the waiver wire orders in reverse.
Yep.
That way those teams are picking them back and front, don't get screwed over.
Yeah, there's positive and negatives to both.
Yeah. All right. So last but not least, this is somewhat of a shorter episode, everyone, or at least we're planning on it for it to be. We've got our favorite moments from 2019. Let me play this for you guys. Little new intro. Oh yeah, good old college football. That's a good way to do it.
Gets the blood pumping this late.
Especially if you're an LSU fan.
Yeah, there you go. He just got Ordron just got signed.
Cody's gonna quiet him.
Cody's that quiet. He just got re-signed for 6 years.
College football is pretty good this year. Unless you were a Gamecock fan, then it was pretty awful to watch for the most part. But yeah, I'll list through some of my favorite moments from 2019. I think one of them was watching CMC not only dominate in both the NFL and fantasy, but just watching him improve upon 2018. So many people were saying, I don't see how he can do better. He wasn't only efficient last year, but the amount of volume he was getting, there's no way that can continue. And it did continue, and it just blew up. It's ridiculous how great Christian was in pretty much every type of fantasy scoring format out there. That was a lot of fun for me to watch personally.
I'm gonna say though that this year he can't do it again, right? Eventually it's got to regress.
No,
he's a little bit.
It's gonna regress.
Yeah,
I know. Rules. He loves the running game, but at the end of the day, he knows it's the NFL. He's gonna have to throw the ball and get the passing game going. So I don't think Christian. I think he's going to still be a great RB1. I just don't know if we're going to see those kind of numbers again in 2020.
Oh, I think they're going to feed him, bro. I just think they have to, and they know that, and they're going to take the pressure off of Cam Newton. I don't think Rule is going to go away from his best player. I think that would be dumb.
Yeah, and I still think Christian is worth the first overall pick in the draft. I'll say that now here in January, or at least a top 3 pick. I think it'd be crazy to watch him pass any point after that. Second favorite moment for 2019. This one's going to sting a little bit for someone. Sweeping Isaac in 2 different fantasy leagues, going 4-0. That felt a little good because we've always split, and this time I swept in both leagues. I know that had to hurt a little bit. But it felt kind of good from my perspective. I felt bad for him at the same time, but it still felt good. I'm just going to throw that one out there for if he's listening.
Oh, he's definitely listening.
He's definitely next one, and this is gonna sting for someone on the show, but seeing a new team win the Critter Cup was kind of nice.
It was not.
It was not.
It was like watching the Patriots go down. Everyone couldn't help like respect him, but also be like, all right, cool. Somebody else gets to, watch somebody else win.
I don't even want to give the trophy up, dude. I haven't even met Cameron to give it to him. I honestly just like want to be like, we'll wait till the draft. But
just cherishing those moments.
At least he gets to see my name.
I remember Jade held on the trophy forever before he ever gave it to Matt. Like, I'm pretty sure it was like midsummer by the time Matt got that trophy from Jade.
I was just gonna say it would be cool if it was like some sort of ceremony, like at the draft or something, or like,
that would
like
be
the
cool.
changing of the guard.
I was totally thinking that, like, a couple of days ago. I was like, man, I should honestly just, like, give it over at the draft while everybody's there. We can kind of do, like, a ceremonial thing. You'll give him his ring, because I think that's what we're doing now. And I think, I don't know.
We knight him.
Yeah.
Someone brings the sword, and we knight him, hand him the trophy. He puts on the ring, like, sits on an iron throne.
On the flip side of that, Cody, you guys talk so much each other all year, and now you would have to be the one to hand him the trophy in front of everybody.
Exactly.
I'll do it.
Right?
I'll do it. Bro, yeah. And then I'll spit on the ground. No.
He drops on the ground and it breaks.
Oops, sorry.
He gets Cameron's name spelled wrong on the trophy, a little template. I think it would be cool, though.
Oh,
yeah.
That would be insult to injury, is if we made the previous winner pay for the other guy's name to get put on the trophy and then hand it over to him. You know how much of a burn that would be? God, that would suck.
I think and I know we were talking about maybe doing a live podcast, and it'd be cool maybe to do like an interview with like certain people through that podcast, and that could be like an interview session with him, like just getting the trophy and how he feels and, his expectations moving forward and stuff. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys could cry together. Maybe we'll get some subscribers.
I honestly just talk crap just to give, like, because he gives it to everybody. So like I have to give him a little taste of his own medicine most of the time.
Yeah.
If you're listening, Cameron, let us know if you think this will be a fun idea, and we'll see if we can set it up.
Yeah. I'm just going to sprint through these. I know I'm taking up a lot of time, but building the 2019 player rankings and fantasy team rankings this offseason was a blast. I had so much fun. I know Isaac did too. Jameson, I know you had a good time. I'm
excited.
We missed on some of them, but it was fun. And I know, Cody, you're definitely excited to do it this year.
Absolutely.
It's just, I can't describe it, man. Just doing that research and trying to see like if you're right about some guys, and when you're wrong, everyone knows you were wrong, so it hurts a little bit more. Hashtag Cam Newton and Big Ben. That we whiffed on, I remember.
Hashtag a lot of players.
A lot of players, yeah.
At least you got that Eric Reed.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Pat.
at least I got Eric Reed. And then last one here, having a dedicated listener / viewing base in the offseason last year was a lot of fun. Like I feel like every week we basically had half the league listening, which I know sounds kind of crappy, but in a way that's pretty good, dude. If you're listening to the podcast in late January, where fantasy football season's over, it's just the NFL playoffs and Super Bowl and Pro Bowl and stuff. Like, obviously you love fantasy football and you really enjoy this league, because no one else would ever click on this video and listen to this, especially this long, to whoever's listening right now. So I think that's another thing that I really enjoyed about last year.
Yeah. Yep. I like it. Go ahead, Cody.
I mean, for myself, like, I was totally stoked that we did like a whole group chat with all of us, because I know before this season it was split up, but I thought it like brought the whole like league a little like closer together, and I know that was our whole it was our whole like view in the last offseason. I think we were really trying to focus on like bringing that aspect back to the league, because once we expanded it, like really it dissipated. It was really like two leagues by itself until like a little bit near the end. And then another thing to point out is the interleague play. I think upping the interleague play was really good too, because I think that contributed to the trash talk a little bit, because I know that was down in previous years. And Pat, I knew you were really big on that, trying to up the trash talk. I wish we could do I wish people would want to do more trash talk videos, kind of how they do in the league, the show.
Yeah, the show. Yeah, that would be. I mean, you can do that on the website.
That's
cool
I've done a couple myself. Honestly, I think I was the last one to do one. Honestly, but once nobody says anything back, I'm not gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, that's true.
Another thing is the closeness of the playoff race. I felt like this year there were more people more involved, and more people it was just stacked in the middle, especially those wild cards, and both sides were massively close. I don't know. I thought that was really good for the league too. And then just going into a whole NFL spiel, the Steelers getting Fitzpatrick and finally having a D, goodness gracious.
Yeah. It's been a minute.
Yeah, but what sucks is the offense fell off.
Yeah, I know, right? That was a quarterback problem, though, honestly. I mean, I think James Conner, if he can get a quarterback, him and Juju will bounce back.
Well,
and the Steelers will.
James Conner just can't stay healthy, man, and I feel like this is a trending thing with him.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But
he's talented.
No doubt. I mean, I think before this year, I think Etienne just broke his record for most responsible touchdowns in the ACC history. So even then, for him to have it, that's an accomplishment in itself, even though it just got broken. And then Cleveland laying a fat egg. Everybody that was the popular pick, was it not?
I know I had him winning the division. I was gun ho.
But it just so happens what sucked, it was Baltimore, the one that really busted out.
Yeah. For real. My goodness. Lamar Jackson. Speaking of things
filthy.
Yeah, speaking of things in 2019, Lamar Jackson, that was fun to watch. I'm not even a Ravens fan, and I had fun watching that and being an owner of him in fantasy. I think for me, I feel like back to kind of touching on Patrick's point about the offseason and the podcast, I feel like this was the breakout season for it. Even though we've done it in the 2018 season, we got better equipment, our audio got better, our content, I think our structure got better. Just everything, I feel like we really kind of determined who that listener base was, and we did the signed giveaways and stuff. The 2019 offseason was a blast. So I had a lot of fun with that. And then seeing the surprises in the 2019 season, like Lamar Jackson and Logan Ryan coming out of nowhere, just things like that we don't expect. The Titans going to the AFC Championship game. I mean, my God, I don't know a single person that would have expected that. So I mean, it was just it was a weird, fun season all the way around. So exciting.
Yeah, it was great. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, to even go back on the the podcast part, I totally agree with that. I mean, I think I've been I tried to get on it as much as I could in while y'all were together with Isaac and whatnot. And once Isaac decided to step away and y'all asked if anybody was interested, man, I jumped all over that, because I think y'all have built it to a point where I'm excited about it, and I was excited to want to get on it and talk with y'all. I just love talking football and sports and fantasy. And I think y'all have elevated it to a truly I mean, more than I thought it was going to be when y'all first started it. That's for sure. And I think y'all have done a fantastic job, dude. Y'all can
I appreciate it.
Pat yourselves on the back, because I mean, y'all have set this up. I just kind of filling in now and reaping the, I guess, the benefits and the whatnot. I just enjoy it. I really do.
I appreciate it, man.
Here's to another off season.
Yeah, for real. We're glad to have you here, because we know you're dedicated to football and enjoy talking. And people I don't know if they realize how much talking we do off the show about fantasy football.
God, yeah. We just spent an hour before this talking about fantasy football. So.
We're not even recording, and we're talking, before and after the show a lot of times. So it really is almost like a way of life for all of us. So Speaking of that, one more thing before we get off. So the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl, right? Next week. So starting this week and next week, comment on these 2 videos on YouTube with who you think is going to win the Super Bowl, the Chiefs or the Niners. Of everyone who picks the winning team, we will randomly select one person for a signed Tyreek Hill photo that we've had here for a while that we have to give away, and are looking forward to seeing you guys commenting and being able to get this out to somebody. So, and it's huge. Like I don't know how big it is. You guys saw the photo though. It's like my elbow to my hand. So like
Jameson's just been waiting for the right time to give it out. He honestly knew the Chiefs were going to be in the Super Bowls. He's been waiting for this moment.
yeah,
he knew in July when he bought it they were going to go.
I've had it almost like a year. I swear to God, it's been a while. But yeah, that's it for me.
Cool. Well, guys, I enjoyed doing another episode with you. Looking forward to next week. And be sure, like Jameson said, leave a comment on the video and let us know who you think's going to win. See ya.
Deuces.
Goodbye, guys.